Good afternoon, and thank you for joining SHRM-Atlanta for our Certification Exam Review Prep Course Info Session. We're glad you took some time out of your day to learn a little bit more about the certification process with us. And we're excited to tell you all about what we have planned for the 2019 courses. While we're going through the webinar, if you have any questions, you can type them into the toolbar on GoToWebinar, and we can address those at the end of the presentation. We have quite a bit of information to cover, so I will go ahead and get started. For those of you who are not very familiar with all of the details about what HR certification is, we want you to know that at SHRM-Atlanta, we see certification as a career-long commitment. This is a way to demonstrate your dedication, your credibility as an HR practitioner, and your mastery of the principles of human resources. So you probably have heard of two names when it comes to HR certification because there are two main providers. SHRM, the Society of Human Resource Management, and HRCI, that's the Human Resource Certification Institute. Now this is a term that you probably see more often in job descriptions as one of the qualifiers for a position. It's something that has been around for quite a while and people are a little bit more familiar with it. So I do want to give you a little bit of history on the difference so that you can understand what the umbrella is for SHRM and HRCI. So once upon a time, HRCI and SHRM were collaborating together. But in 2014, they parted ways, and SHRM began developing a newer set of HR certifications. That's the CP and the SCP, and we'll talk about the distinction between those in just a bit. So a lot of HR professionals, especially in Atlanta, have attained their HRCI credentials. Those are PHR, the Professional in Human Resources, or the SPHR. That's a Senior Professional in Human Resources. And we want you to know that SHRM-Atlanta is committed to helping those professionals maintain their credentials by offering HRCI recertification credit for our various programs. So you'll see in our calendar that most of our programs do offer credit for both SHRM and HRCI recertification. But we want to take a firm stance behind the SHRM certification in 2019 because this newer certification encompasses not only the HR technical competencies that are covered by HRCI, but it adds on top of it behavioral competencies, things like business acumen, leadership and navigation, and critical evaluation that contribute to a much more strategic mindset and a more effective performance. So the SHRM difference really is in the competencies. Some of you may have seen this graph before. This is the SHRM BOK, or the Body of Competency and Knowledge, and you can visit SHRM.org and download the entire SHRM BOK if you want to look at it in more detail. And these images are a little bit small, but you can see that on the base we have our technical competencies surrounding basic HR expertise focused on people, the workplace, and the organization. You'll also notice that on top of this base, we have new skills stacked up that cover behavioral competencies, things like critical evaluation, communication, and relationship management. So this is a way that SHRM defines the expertise in human resources. It describes these behavioral competencies that are needed for effective job performance. So the difference is that when you earn your CP or your SCP, you become a recognized expert and a leader in the HR field. That makes you a valuable asset to your organization, and it keeps you and your organization more competitive in today's economy. So why seek certification at all? As we just discussed, the SHRM certification specifically is competency-based. So it focuses on the behavioral skills that are really an important supplement to your technical skills. It's also a very relevant and universally applicable certification. If you are SHRM certified here in the United States, you're SHRM certified anywhere in the world. It's global, so wherever you go, it goes with you. If you're coming into the US for the first time as a visitor to work on a project, you're still SHRM certified. It follows you. The SHRM certification is also more strategic, and it is an accredited certification. The CP and the SCP exams are accredited by the Bureau Center for Testing, which is an assertion that these HR credentials meet the highest standards in testing, something to stand behind the letters that follow your name. So the real value in certification, as I just mentioned, is that you're demonstrating to your employers that you have the most current and relevant skills in the HR profession. This is something that distinguishes you and sets you apart from your colleagues and proves your high level of knowledge and skills. Again, the SHRM certification is global, so that gives you a universal standard and makes your certification recognizable all around the world. And SHRM certification is the only HR certification that's offered by the world's largest HR membership organization. SHRM is the industry leader in HR professional development, and it's supported more than 100,000 employers representing 140 million employees worldwide. So this is really a way of validating your proficiency as an HR professional and adding more value to your company. So we'll talk about the types of credentials offered by SHRM. First, we have the Certified Professional, that's the CP. HR professionals who are implementing policies and strategies, serving as a point of contact for staff or stakeholders, delivering HR services, and performing more basic operational HR functions would be a great fit for the CP exam. If that's something that you do in your everyday job or something that you want to be doing as a certified professional, then the CP certification is probably what you want to pursue. Then we have the SCP. This is the Senior Certified Professional, or you can also think of it as the Strategic Certified Professional. These are individuals who develop strategies. They lead the HR function, they foster influence in the community, they analyze performance metrics, and they align the HR strategies to the organizational goals. If this is something that you do or aspire to do, if you want to be influential, if you want to be someone who develops the company and the employees and be a leader, the Senior Certified Professional is probably the best path for you. And to be clear, you don't have to choose which certification you want to pursue before you begin preparing for the exam, but you do need to choose which exam you will be taking before you apply. Your eligibility is going to depend on the one that you choose, and I'll show you that in a moment. So just really quickly to show you the raw data on benefits for you personally, as you can see, there's a salary increase. On average, we're seeing $5,500 annually for a CP versus someone in the same position who is not certified. And at the SCP level, we're looking at an average of $17,000 more annually. So it's a huge difference. These individuals report greater career satisfaction and sharper HR skills, and they tend to stay with their organizations for a longer period of time, especially if your company is assisting you in achieving your certification goal, staying behind you, helping you to adjust your schedule, even helping with financial support. That's a way of fusing yourself into the organization even more. And of course, you have more opportunity for promotions because they can see you as a leader and an expert who is deserving of continuing to move upward. Now, if you need to convince your boss, these are some things that you can mention to them. Benefits of certification for employers. This is important for you to know and important for your company to know. If you're thinking about pursuing certification, let your organization know that by demonstrating your mastery over HR technical skills, and behavioral competencies, you're lending more validity to their organization. This is preparing you to take on leadership roles. This is a way of training outside of your position to get ready to go to the next level and bring team members with you. This course and the certification preparation in general is going to introduce a lot of new ideas. It's going to drive your success and therefore the success of your organization. It optimizes your consistency and your effectiveness. Again, we're seeing that the SHRM certification creates this common language in HR so that you have set standards across the board and makes it a lot easier to transition from one field or industry into another because your HR ideals are all melded together in one common language. And then you have this worldwide relevance, not just for yourself, but for your company. Imagine your entire HR department in an organization is certified with SHRM. That's a huge source of recognition for your company around the world. Now, we can talk about the steps. So if you're not very familiar with the certification process, that's okay. A lot of us are not, and there are quite a few steps involved, but don't be overwhelmed. All of the information is always available online. You can visit SHRM-Atlanta.org/cert, or you can visit SHRM.org and look under their Learning and Career Center to get this information. So first you want to determine if you meet the eligibility requirements. The SHRM certification exam is not as simple as paying your testing fee and signing up. You do have to apply to take the exam. So you can see here in this table that the number of years you have in HR experience and the level of education you have that's HR related weighs in kind of a balance to qualifying you for the exam. This information does not change. So it doesn't fluctuate from year to year. If there are any updates due to qualifiers, then those would be shared with the HR community. But for now, this is set in stone. So as you can see, if you have formal HR education or non-HR education, you can qualify depending on the number of years of experience you have. With every year of increased experience, less education is required. Conversely, as you increase in your level of education, less experience in an active role in HR is required. So once you have determined your eligibility and you can see that you do qualify for the exam, there are two options. You can start studying right away and consider signing up for the exam later when you feel more prepared, or you can apply right away for the exam. And we do share instructions on how to do that. There are several steps involved, but through SHRM.org, you can do your online application and submit information about your credentials, your educational background, your HR background. It will be reviewed and either approved or rejected. There's always an explanation for a rejection. And if you're approved, then they provide you with the information on your next steps to actually signing up for the exam and paying your fees in advance. When you have done this, or even if you haven't, you can still start preparing and studying as soon as you want. We encourage everyone to join a class. Form study groups outside of your class, and take practice tests, participate in your discussions and your study groups, and use your online learning tools. It's critical that when preparing for the SHRM certification exam, you use the SHRM certification exam prep tools. And I'll show you what that's like in a moment. Some of you may have already seen information about the SHRM learning system. The SHRM learning system has two pieces. It involves your printed material and your online learning tools. And these are vast, and this is the best way to prepare because the exam is going to be vividly reflected in the preparation material so that you feel confident coming in on test day. Now let's say you pass your exam and you've earned your certification. The great thing about the SHRM certification exam is it's a computer-based test. It's a 4-hour test, so it is long, but when you finish, you get your exam results immediately. So you will find out the same day if you've passed or you have not passed. Now, involved in the exam are 160 questions. These are knowledge-based and situational judgment-based test items. And there are a series of different types of exercises for various types of learners in the SHRM learning system to help you prepare for all different types of questions. The testing windows and the registration dates coming up, you'll see at the bottom of the screen. We have our spring and our winter exam windows. This works so that you can see there are application deadlines. You can't apply late. And then you have time to prepare before taking your exam. Now, what SHRM-Atlanta has done is we have adapted our schedule for our preparation course to work in front of the testing windows, so that if you take our spring certification exam review prep, then your classes will run from February until early May, which gives you time in that testing window to sign up for your exam. So you'll see the next exam window is May 1st to July 15th. Anytime during those dates, you can find a testing center in your neighborhood and sign up for your exam. These exam windows do not change from year to year. You'll always have May to July and December to the February of the following year. The next step after you have earned your certification is to remember to recertify. Something that is very important is that every 3 years your certification cycle comes to an end. You must have earned 60 credits during that cycle from activities like continuing education or special events and projects, submitted that information to SHRM, and when you have reached 60 credits, then you can pay your renewal fee and renew your certification. This is a really important step because if you let your certification lapse, you do have to take the exam all over again, and you don't want to do that. So we want you to know that SHRM-Atlanta is a resource for all of these opportunities to earn credits. If you have visited SHRM-Atlanta.org and seen our calendar, you'll notice that throughout the year we have a lot of educational opportunities, conferences, special programs, volunteering opportunities, even a chance to become a speaker or an instructor. And you can earn credits through all of those projects with us and use that to keep your certification current. So the benefits of a preparation course, first and foremost, are that you get an expert instructor. Now, in 2019, SHRM-Atlanta has been lucky enough to bring on board Xavier Cunyon. Some of you may know him from Kennesaw State University. He is part of the HR community here in Atlanta, and he has joined us for 2019 to lead our certification exam prep courses. And we're very excited to have this dynamic character come on board and teach our learners. So this is one big plus from joining a class. Some of you may be thinking about doing self-study, and that is definitely an option with SHRM National. SHRM-Atlanta does not offer a self-study option. The main reason for that is that we strongly believe that the preparation classes and the classroom experience with the support of an instructor and your peers is the most sure way to be successful when you go forward to take the exam and become certified. And we're very confident in especially Xavier Cunyon's ability to help you reach that goal. But it is a tough test. It is a lot of preparation, and having a structured environment, a schedule, and someone keeping you accountable makes all the difference. So we encourage everyone to come into a course, but we want you to know it's not just for the sake of holding a class. We know that there are strong benefits to this prep course. Another benefit is the SHRM learning system. Now this year, if you're signing up, you'll get your 2019 printed books. Those are yours to keep forever. You'll also have access to our online learning system. for 18 months following the beginning of your course. So having both printed and digital formats is a real advantage. This means that if you're a person who likes to read, write on the paper, look at the pages, perfect. If you're a person who likes electronic formats, then it's for you as well. Everything that is printed in the SHRM Learning System is available in the exact format in your SHRM Learning digital system. So if you're traveling a lot for work, you can still study your chapters while you're away. This is a very interactive program. There are lots of exercises for different types of learners. There are flashcards. There are more than 1,500 practice questions. There are practice exams. And there are situational judgment-based scenarios that give you a really in-depth look at a real-life situation and help you understand how to apply the skills that you're learning about in the classroom. It's a very effective learning tool. It's built for adults, and it's a lot of information, a lot of resources available. It's a lot of material to go through. So luckily, you have the 18 months to get through it all. Being in a prep course is also a great way to learn from your peers. Having classmates has been something that's mentioned to us many times over the years as a very important aspect of the learning experience. Being able to share commonalities with people in the same stage of life as you, in the same career stage as you, is great. The practical application, hearing new ideas, gaining new perspectives is a really important piece to learning. And being in a traditional classroom with other individuals and forming those little study groups, talking outside of class, asking questions, having discussions has been a great way for HR professionals to learn through this course. It's a 13-week course. It's a time investment. It's a lot of hard work, and it's nice to have that support system. The prep course is going to keep you on track. A structured classroom really accelerates your learning and improves your retention. There are studies that show that experiential learning in a classroom is one of the best ways to retain the information and really understand how to apply it to real life situations. So this is what you need for an exam like the SHRM certification because of the types of questions that are asked. Now we all know that funding can be an obstacle. We don't want that to happen in this case. So there are options out there, and a lot of you may know about a corporate training budget available with your company. Some of you may not have heard of one, but investigate and see if one exists. If it doesn't, there might be an opportunity for you to create something for yourself here. We're willing to help you convince your boss. We provide everyone who's interested with a free Convince Your Boss kit. This is information to hand over that lists all of the great reasons why certification is a positive for you, how it benefits the company, and why it will take you and your organization to the next level. If you don't have a corporate training budget and you're having a hard time convincing your boss to help you get one, you can also check some other options like careeronestop.org. This is where you can search by state and see if there are special programs in place with training dollars available for HR specifically. Private loans are an option. Delta Community Credit Union is right down the street from SHRM-Atlanta headquarters. That might be something to try. And if you weren't aware, SHRM National offers scholarships every year specifically for the HR training that comes from this class. So check into that and we'll provide resources for you. So if you're excited about the class, if you're ready to get your certification, if you want to register today, there are lots of opportunities to find information about us. Again, SHRM-Atlanta.org/cert will take you to our main page and tell you all about certification and our courses. You can also look on our calendar online, and you'll see that the next available class is right around the corner. We're starting February 7th and running through May 2nd, so that puts you just in front of the testing window. Registration is currently open. The fall course, beginning in August, is not yet open for registration. We will make that available in April. So if you're not ready just yet, if you need to get some things organized in order to participate, you still have some time and another opportunity later this year. So I want to take a moment to see if anyone has any questions at this point, and then I'll show you really quickly a couple of pages on our website. So one of the questions we've received is, will the SHRM Prep course prepare you for the HRCI exam as well? This is a question we actually do get quite a bit. We cannot guarantee that the SHRM course is going to prepare you for the HRCI exam. However, we have had expert instructors in the past tell us that if you are fully prepared to take the SHRM certification exam, you should also feel confident in taking the HRCI exam. Maybe that's what your company specifically requires, and that's the certification that you need. Because SHRM certification is global and encompasses more competencies, it does give you a wider breadth of information. So you should be able to feel comfortable taking the HRCI exam. I will tell you that there may be less information covered by the SHRM exam on labor union law. That's something we've been told in the past, which takes a lead role in the HRCI preparation and exam. We've also compensated for that in 2019 because we are going to be offering labor union workshops throughout the year to help you learn all about the basics of employment law and how labor unions can positively relate to management. That information will be going up on our calendar over the next few weeks. So if you're interested in the SHRM certification prep, you can supplement any missing information on that topic by taking part in our workshops. We do offer a special discount to any of our students in the SHRM prep course to take that labor union workshop, so you're not going to be paying regular price. Let's see, another question we have is the SHRM virtual class that is from March until April and how it's different from the one talked about here. The SHRM virtual class is something that is the self-paced study available with SHRM National. What that is, you get the books and the learning system that we talked about here. That's your SHRM Learning Kit. And then you have access for a limited period of time to an online source of information and an instructor who is periodically available to answer certain questions. It's not someone who's always there for you. In our case, if you're taking a class, Xavier is available anytime by email. You can reach out to us at SHRM-Atlanta in our headquarters and ask us basic questions. And we have a constant stream of support for you from the beginning of your class until the end. That's something that you cannot get with the virtual class and the self-paced study. That's why we do encourage everyone to take part in a class. A lot of people have come to me in the past 2 years and said, I tried self-study, it was really hard for me, I wasn't successful, or I didn't pass the exam, and I have to take a class now. What ends up happening then is you spend more money because then you're adding the cost of the class onto your books and your online resources. And it's really not a very big difference between the self-paced study and the entire class with your learning tools. Now the cost of the course. I'll show you that really quickly. We're almost out of time. But let's go to our website. So if you visit SHRM-Atlanta.org, this is our main page here, you can see professional development in the menu bar at the top. If you scroll down to HR certification and go to about, this is going to take you to our main page. All things you need to know about HR certification. The information we covered today, you'll see testimonials from our own members, the benefits. Now here is where you can download a free PDF to share with your boss, but we do have an entire kit for you. You'll see your eligibility is listed here. And very important is the course information. So again, our spring course is the next coming up. Registration is open. You can do that right from this page here. And you'll see we're holding the classes once a week. That's going to be every Thursday from February until May. The 7th is our orientation. This is really important for learning how to use the learning system and getting to know your instructor, getting your syllabus and your books at orientation. Class dates begin on February 14th and run through the 2nd. We always will be meeting at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution building from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. This should be flexible for those of you who have to work a full day. And then you'll see over here the cost. If you are a member with SHRM-Atlanta, this does not apply to SHRM National, but if you are a SHRM-Atlanta member, you're looking at $1,500 for the course and your prep materials combined. If you're not yet a member, that's okay. Your price is still the same, but we have tacked on top of it 1 year of SHRM-Atlanta membership. So you're looking at $1,640 for your total. That's the cost of the class and a discounted cost for 1 year of membership. This is really a benefit to you because it's immediately putting you into the SHRM-Atlanta community and helping you get to know other professionals. If you're looking to change jobs, that's a great way to make connections. And it also gives you an opportunity to get in on the discounts and early announcements on our special programs if you need to add more learning into your prep program. Our info sessions are recorded and we do put them online, so if you missed anything here, you can come back later and listen to it. This is all about your instructor. Get to know him, learn a little bit about him. There's some fun facts here. You can connect on LinkedIn. So if you want to learn a little bit more about who's going to be teaching you for 13 weeks, this is your opportunity. You'll see your exam dates here. And if you click on this link, you can find a Prometric testing center and go ahead and schedule your exam if you have been approved by SHRM. They'll give you a special code. You put that in kind of like a promo code, and it allows you to proceed with your registration. The exam is separate and not proctored by SHRM-Atlanta. It's a $400 fee for the exam. This is in addition to your classroom costs. So you're looking at $1,500 to $1,640 for your class and your prep materials, and then $400 for your exam. When you apply for the exam, they will ask you for the testing fee in advance. If you don't get approved to take the exam, they will refund that money to you. If you do get approved, then that applies straight to the Prometric Testing Center. And one last thing down here at the bottom, these resources are always here. If you have more questions that we didn't cover in this presentation, you can always look up details under the resources link. And then this is your opportunity to download the certification handbook. This will tell you all about how to earn recertification credits, what's involved in the process. It gets really in depth. If you want to know what it's like to use the online learning system, maybe you're a little intimidated by it, that's okay, lots of us are. This is a chance to do a miniature trial for free and get an idea of what the text is like, what a practice test feels like to take, and really dig in to understand more about the learning system. Again, if you're looking at funding obstacles, the SHRM Foundation awards scholarships every year. You can click on this link here, fill out an application, and see if you qualify, and that might be a way for you to overcome that obstacle. Again, this is SHRM-Atlanta.org/CERT, and it will take you right to this page. You can read all about everything we just talked about today. And I want to share with you again that our calendar is available and updated all the time. And my information is here. If you have any questions, I'm Amanda, the operations manager and the project manager for the certification courses. So if you need more detail, if you're not sure about what to do next, if you need help navigating the website or signing up, you can reach out to me directly at aabernillo@SHRM-Atlanta.org. This is my direct office line here, or you can email info and get the general mailbox to submit your questions. If there is nothing else, then we've come to the conclusion of our presentation. And I don't see any new questions, so I think we may have covered everything. If you think of something later, definitely reach out to me. All of our information is available on the website all the time, and I'll be happy to have a conversation with any of you who want to know more. And remember, February 7th is less than a month away, so if you're interested in getting signed up for the spring, here's your chance. And we do have late registration fees. So the price is going up in the next couple of weeks. So this is your chance to save $200 on registration before the advance deadline ends. So thank you all so much for joining us today and dedicating your time to learn about certification. We wish you luck on your journey and your next step, and please let us know if you need any assistance. SHRM-Atlanta is here to help. Thank you very much, and have a great afternoon.